A very good evening. You're watching Primetime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Omitra Bekon. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
Ask for Eslon Polygon by name.
The Iran-Israel-US war surpasses 30 days. Yemen's Houthi rebels join the fight in support of Iran. US Secretary of State says the operations in the Middle East will conclude in a few weeks. QR codes to be introduced to sectors including agriculture needing fuel to run machinery. 5 officers from the CPC appointed to coordinate with all ministries. Discussions continue to finalize technical matters to purchase fuel from Russia. March end will not see a fuel price revision, an assurance from the CPC. RMB Commissioner General arrested by CID and to be produced before court today. Temperatures soar across many parts of the island.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
Ask for Eslon Polygon by name.
Onto those stories in detail now. Today marks a month since the outbreak of military clashes between Iran, Israel and the United States of America. The impact of this Middle East conflict is no longer limited to the region. It has already pushed the entire world into an energy crisis. However, no indication has yet emerged as to when these clashes might come to an end.
Houthi militants launch missile attack on Israel.
Houthi militants in Yemen launched a ballistic missile attack on Israel today. The missile targeted the Beersheba area in southern Israel, but Israeli defense forces say it was successfully intercepted and destroyed mid-air. No casualties have been reported from the attack. This is the first attack on Israel carried out by the Houthi rebels since the current war began.
Will the war escalate?
Meanwhile, regarding the war with Iran, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that there is no need to deploy additional ground troops to achieve US objectives and that the military operations could conclude within a few weeks. He made these remarks to the media following a meeting of G7 foreign ministers in France.
As the Department of War has consistently outlined, we are on or ahead of schedule in that operation and expect to conclude it at the appropriate time here in a matter of weeks, not months. And the progress is going very well. Obviously, we have some work to do. We have to finish the job, and we are finishing that job. I did describe to our allies, however, that immediately after this thing ends, we're done with our objectives, one of the immediate challenges we're going to face is in Iran that may decide that they want to set up a tolling system in the Straits of Hormuz. Not only is this illegal, it's unacceptable, it's dangerous to the world, and it's important that the world have a plan to confront it. We are achieving all those objectives. We are ahead of schedule on most of them, and we can achieve them without any ground troops, without any. Now, in terms of why there's deployments, number one, the President has to be prepared for multiple contingencies, which I'm not going to discuss in the media. And again, I refer you to the Department of War, who will probably tell you the exact same thing. But we can achieve all of our objectives without ground troops, but we are always going to be prepared to give the President maximum optionality and maximum opportunity to adjust to contingencies should they emerge.
Iranian strike injures US soldiers at Saudi base.
According to foreign media reports, an Iranian attack on Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia has injured 10 US soldiers, 2 of them being critical. The strike has also damaged several US refueling aircraft stationed at the base. Prince Sultan Air Base, a key hub for US F-15, F-16 and F-35 fighter jets, was previously attacked on the 1st of March, resulting in a fatality.
Third attack hits Iran's Bushehr nuclear plant.
Meanwhile, Iran's Bushehr nuclear plant was targeted in a separate attack, the third since the current conflict began, the Iranian Atomic Energy Organization said. Earlier strikes targeting the facility were carried out on the 17th and 24th of March. Officials report no casualties or technical damage from today's strike. The plant remains operational, but Iran has warned that even minor damage could pose risks to the surrounding region due to its large stock of radioactive materials.
What about NATO? What does Trump have to say?
US President Donald Trump has sharply criticized NATO allies for not supporting the United States in its current conflict with Iran, saying many European members declined to join or assist in military operations. Trump warned that if NATO countries are unwilling to back the US in major global conflicts like this one, the United States may reconsider how it approaches collective defense commitments in the future. Addressing his earlier reference to the Strait of Trump, Trump clarified that he was in fact referring to the Strait of Hormuz. He made these remarks while addressing an investment forum in Florida.
They're being hit so hard, anybody would be negotiating. They are negotiating. They're begging to make a deal. They're begging to make a deal. Turned out I was right. They were negotiating, which they admitted 2 days later. And in order to make up for their misstatement, they said, we're going to send you 8 ships of oil. And the following day I saw, this is 2 days ago, I saw on one of the networks, very strange, there were 8 ships of oil coming out of Iran. And then they actually said, we're going to add an extra 2. And they added an extra 2, so we had 10 ships, and then people realized we were actually negotiating. And we're negotiating now, and it'd be great if we could do something, but they have to open it up. They have to open up the Strait of Hormuz. Excuse me for this. I'm so sorry. Such a terrible mistake. The fake news will say, he accidentally said, no. There's no accidents with me, not too many. If there were, we'd have a major story.
Talks on Middle East crisis.
Meanwhile, foreign ministers from Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt and Pakistan are preparing to meet to discuss the situation in the Middle East. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said the meeting will take place in Islamabad under Pakistan's patronage over the next 2 days. Egypt's foreign minister has already arrived in Islamabad to participate in the talks. Additionally, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held a phone conversation with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. In a note on his official account, the Prime Minister said he informed the Iranian President about Pakistan's efforts to mediate in the ongoing crisis.
The energy crisis that the world is experiencing at present is deepening with each passing day. The crisis is now impacting many countries, disrupting daily life and straining key sectors.
Thailand. Fuel supply disruptions and subsidy cuts have also impacted transportation, agriculture and essential services in Thailand's capital, Bangkok. According to Al Jazeera, queues have formed across the city due to fuel shortages nationwide. The price hike has disrupted operations in key sectors, including agriculture and supply chains. A temple in a suburb of Bangkok, which conducted free cremations during the COVID-19 pandemic, is now struggling due to fuel shortages and rising costs. India. Fuel prices in India remained unchanged today amid the ongoing global energy crisis. According to the Times of India, the government has taken steps to reduce excise duty on fuel. To shield consumers from rising global prices, the central government reduced excise duty on petrol from 13 Indian rupees to 3 Indian rupees. The report further stated that excise duty on diesel has been removed completely. However, this tax reduction is not expected to lower consumer prices, but rather to prevent domestic prices from rising in line with international rates. Long queues continue to be reported at petrol stations in several cities across India. Some media outlets have also reported large crowds gathering near petrol stations, with fuel being purchased in a disorderly manner. Australia. Australia has decided to import additional fuel stocks to strengthen supply amid ongoing conflicts in the Middle East. According to ABC News Australia, citing Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, the Australian government will provide financial guarantees to facilitate these fuel imports. Shortages of petrol and diesel have been reported in several areas, including the state of New South Wales and Queensland. Prime Minister Albanese stated that further measures will be taken to boost supply by underwriting the cost of additional fuel purchases on the international market. Under this plan, major fuel companies will continue procurement, while the government assumes the financial risk of potentially high-cost shipments. Authorities have repeatedly stressed that fuel shortages are not due to supply constraints, but are largely driven by panic buying and unnecessary hoarding.
Chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, D.A. Rajakarna, confirms that the country's fuel supply will remain stable and uninterrupted. The chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, D.A. Rajakarna, says fuel supply in Sri Lanka will continue without any disruption in the coming months. A ship carrying 36,000 metric tons of fuel from India is scheduled to arrive tomorrow. This shipment includes 18,000 metric tons of diesel and 18,000 metric tons of 92-octane petrol. Further shipments are expected as follows. April 2nd to 4th, 32,000 metric tons of diesel and 8,000 metric tons of Jet A1 fuel. April 6th to 7th, 37,500 metric tons of diesel. April 7th to 8th, 32,000 metric tons of diesel and 5,000 metric tons of super diesel. April 10th to 11th, 35,000 metric tons of jet fuel. April 12th to 13th, 30,000 metric tons of furnace oil. April 16th to 17th, 35,000 metric tons of 92-octane petrol. April 18th to 19th, a Sinopec vessel will deliver 20,000 metric tons of diesel and 20,000 metric tons of 92-octane petrol. April 21st to 22nd, 20,000 metric tons of diesel, 17,000 metric tons of 92-octane petrol and 3,000 metric tons of 95-octane petrol. April 24th to 25th, 37,000 metric tons of diesel. April 29th to 30th, 30,000 metric tons of 92-octane petrol, 5,000 metric tons of 95-octane petrol.
මේ ටික ගත්තට පස්සේ අපිට ඩීසල් යන්න පුළුවන් ලබන මාසේ මැද වෙනකන් කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැතුව 92 පෙට්‍රල් යන්න පුළුවන් 6 වෙනි මාසේ මුල වෙනකන් 95 පෙට්‍රල් යන්න පුළුවන් 6 වෙනි මාසේ මුල වෙනකන්. එතකොට අපි මේ වෙනකොට රටේ තෙල් සැපයුම
The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation advises the public to limit electricity use as diesel remains essential for electricity generation in the island. Will there be a fuel price revision this month?
මේ මාසේ අන්තිමේ කියන්නේ දැන් හෙට අනිද්දා මිල සංශෝධනයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. යාපහු සංශෝධනය වෙන්නේ ලෝක වෙළඳපොලේ මිල ඒ තීරණත් එක්ක බලලා රජයේ ඒ තීන්දුව ගනිවි. පැහැදිලිවම කියන්න පුළුවන් බය වෙන්න එපා මේ මාසේ අන්තිමේ මිල සංශෝධනයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
What is the current status of negotiations to import petroleum from Russia?
ඒක සාකච්ඡා වටේ තියෙන්නේ. දැනට තියෙන මේක අනුව අපිට තෙල් ලබා ගැනීමේ green light එකක් තියෙනවා. අපිට ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් කියන තැන තියෙන්නේ.
It was decided at the committee appointed to oversee the distribution of essential goods to appoint 5 officials from the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to coordinate with all ministries, to examine fuel-related issues at the ministries and to find necessary solutions for these issues. This decision was taken during a meeting of the committee which was held at the Presidential Secretariat and chaired by Minister of Transport, Highways and Urban Development, Bimal Ratnayaka. The appointed officials will be responsible for identifying fuel-related issues within institutions under each ministry and will coordinate with the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to implement the relevant solutions. Attention was also drawn to the need for the expeditious implementation of the QR-based fuel distribution system for sectors including agriculture and fisheries in order for them to run machinery needing fuel.
News First with the people.
Sailor Enterprises presents Russell Peters returns to Colombo for the Relaxed World Tour, 31st March 2026 at the all-new Lumina Hall in the City of Dreams, powered by the Australian Migration Consultants. Tickets out now on bookmyshow.com.
Welcome back to the news. Commissioner General of Motor Traffic Kamal Amar Singha has been remanded until the 30th of March in connection with alleged misconduct in vehicle registration.
Commissioner General of Motor Traffic Kamal Amar Singha was arrested by the CID last night over alleged irregularities in vehicle registration. He was produced before the Pilasa Magistrates Court this evening. Upon being produced in court, Acting Magistrate Damayanti Vijayanayake ordered him to be remanded until the 30th of March this year.
The Department of Meteorology predicts a significant probability of an El Nino condition developing by May this year. As a result, there could be changes in the southwest monsoon rainfall patterns. The department also warns that if an El Nino condition develops, there is a risk of severe drought conditions occurring. Meanwhile, the highest temperature in the country today was recorded in Ratnapura at 37.8 degrees Celsius.
What's happening to the weather situation in Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka has been experiencing extreme heat weather conditions over the past few days. The Met Department has also issued a warm weather advisory regarding the situation. So now if we have a look at the heat index, the temperature felt on the human body is likely to increase up to the caution level in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, eastern, northwestern, north central provinces as well as the Monragal district, with temperatures ranging between 39 to 45 degrees Celsius. So in recent days, the highest temperature was reported from the Ratnapura district, which is reaching 37.8 degrees Celsius according to the Met Department yesterday. So in a background like that, where Sri Lankans are experiencing extreme heat weather conditions, authorities urge the public to take precautions during this period. So people are advised to stay well hydrated by drinking plenty of water and also limiting outdoor activities, especially during afternoon hours, and taking regular breaks when working outside. So what's the latest situation and what's going to happen to the weather situation, extreme heat weather conditions in Sri Lanka? Let's have a look.
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගත්තොත් එල් නිනෝ ජෙනසිස් ඒ කියන්නේ පටන් ගන්න මේ පළවෙනි අන්තර් මෞසමේ මාර්තු අප්‍රේල් වල වගේ දැන් අපිට පේනවා එල් නිනෝ තත්ත්වයක් ඉදිරියේදී ඒවි වගේ පේනවා ඒක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගත්තොත් ඒකේ සම්භාවිතාව ගත්තොත් 150කට වඩා අඩු 10ක 20ක වගේ ප්‍රමාණයෙන් පෙන්නනවා මැයි මාසෙන් පස්සේ ජූනි වගේ වෙනකොට එල් නිනෝ තත්ත්වයක් ඒවි කියලා.
What is El Nino?
El Nino is a unique climatic variation that occurs in the Pacific Ocean. Simply put, it is an unusual warming of the sea surface in the central and eastern Pacific Ocean. This phenomenon has a significant impact on global weather patterns. Under normal conditions, winds in the Pacific Ocean push warm water westward towards Australia and Indonesia. During El Nino, these winds weaken, causing the warm water to flow eastward towards South America. This shift affects weather in various regions worldwide. Countries in South America may experience heavier rainfall and flooding, while in Australia, Indonesia and some regions in South Asia, they may face severe droughts and a higher risk of wildfires. During El Nino, the global average temperature also rises. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology has warned that current high temperatures may increase further. They stated that people are already experiencing extreme heat and everyone should follow health safety measures.
මේ උෂ්ණත්වය වැඩිවීම තුළ අපගේ සෞඛ්‍යයට බලපෑම් ඇති කරමින් පවතිනවා. හැමෝටම බලපාන අතර විශේෂයෙන්ම කුඩා දරුවන්ට, වැඩිහිටියන්ට, දීර්ඝකාලීන රෝගවලින් පෙළෙන උදවියට මෙහි බලපෑම වැඩි.
What should you do during this extreme weather situation?
Stay well hydrated by drinking water regularly even before you feel thirsty. Limit the intake of sugary drinks, coffee and alcohol as they can cause dehydration. Wear light-colored, loose-fitting cotton clothing that allows your body to breathe and stay cool. When outdoors, protect yourself from the sun with a wide-brimmed hat or umbrella and wear sunglasses to shield your eyes.
What do you do in case of an emergency?
If experiencing extreme fatigue, headache, vomiting, difficulty in breathing or excessive sweating, move to a cool, shaded area, loosen your clothing and wipe your body with a damp cloth. Drink cool water. If symptoms persist or worsen, seek medical attention immediately. Meanwhile, with dry conditions, rural areas are experiencing broken water pipelines. During an inquiry, the chairman of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board stated that groundwater sources are being identified, with plans underway to construct pipelines in affected areas. Local authorities will be notified to ensure water distribution through the booster system is effectively managed.
Move forward, Sri Lanka. Protect our cricket.
It is important to know how we as Sri Lankans feel about the sport of cricket. Why do we fight over cricket so much and with so much passion? There is no benefit that we gain, either personally or from a business perspective, by worrying over cricket so much. If that is the case, why do Sri Lankans get so upset over cricket? Why do they feel so distressed, so passionate and so combative about it? Now, as many of us already know, the main objectives of Sri Lanka cricket are formulating a national cricket plan, making Sri Lanka #1 across all formats of cricket, turning the country into the cricket capital of Asia, and most importantly, ensuring good governance and financial transparency. Yet, in the last 10 years, cricket administrators have failed to achieve even a single one of these objectives. Now, where is that national cricket plan? Let's forget about our cricket being ranked #1 across all formats. What has actually happened is that cricket in Sri Lanka has fallen into an abyss in recent years. Transparency issues arose in financial matters, and these have been repeatedly exposed through audit reports as well as during parliamentary COPE committee hearings. Now, at a time when Sri Lanka cricket is drowning, barely able to survive, what is being spoken of? The profits that are being generated. You speak of profits today, but do you remember all the losses that were revealed in past audits? These were during the sale of broadcasting rights. An alleged loss of US$ 18,242,411 was revealed, a staggering amount. Now, almost 6.9 billion rupees was spent on building the Suryavava International Cricket Stadium. Audit reports showed that 2.2 billion rupees of that 6.9 billion expenditure had no supporting bills whatsoever. So much money spent, but no substantial returns are being generated. The public has not forgotten these facts. Everyone in Sri Lanka firmly believes that cricket must be rebuilt by those who have played the game and have a solid track record, not by mere individuals whose sole qualification was playing one match at the age of 45 and who now speak of the game like pundits. Today, the entire country knows what happened to the Chitrasiri Committee report. It was halted by political interference that went far beyond cricket. That committee aimed to hand over cricket to competent individuals, ensuring accountability, responsibility, and transparency. As many of us know, India, our neighbor, transformed its cricket through the Lodha Committee. After the required administrative reforms were implemented, only Saurav Ganguly contested the BCCI presidency, and he was unopposed. If we are to revolutionize our island nation, if we are to take the Sri Lanka brand to the world, there are 3 ways we can do this. The first way is through our culture. Why? Sri Lanka has a proud history of over 2,500 years, and the country has been built on this deep heritage and rooted civilization. In addition, our biodiversity, our island's geographical uniqueness, all of these things can definitely be taken to the world as a tourist destination. The second way is through our music. Now, our music is a fusion of styles from different countries, from different parts of the world. We can use this uniqueness to take our music to the global stage. And the third way? Cricket. Cricket is one of the main ways that we can showcase our talent and even surpass global superpowers like India, England, and Australia. Cricket is a platform where we, a tiny island nation, is on an equal footing with the rest of the world. Through cricket, we can compare the Sri Lankan brand with giants like Australia, England, and South Africa, countries whose economies dwarf ours. Now, compared to these giants, we are tiny. We are a developing nation that has faced many a crisis in the past. However, through cricket, we can conquer the world. Now, we have done this successfully in the past and come on top. Cricket unites us all as a nation. It doesn't matter what our beliefs are. Cricket brings the entire nation together. When our boys are on the field, the whole island comes to a halt and supports them with a single wish: to win. This is why the people of our nation are distraught by the current situation of cricket in Sri Lanka. This is why we cannot ignore and walk away when a single group is trying to destroy the one thing that unites us as a nation. The people cannot ignore it, nor can we. Our question is simple. When cricket is suffering so much, how can its administrators and those responsible for the sport not be bothered? Surely it has to bother them. They have to feel that something is not right. As a nation, we cannot watch this decline in the sport we all love any longer. You might remember how you entered cricket, whether you walked in on foot or arrived in luxury vehicles. Today, when you leave the headquarters, entire roads are cleared for your convoys. Ask your conscience. Everything you have today came because of cricket. Someone who scored just 3 runs in 4 first-class matches entered office in 2016, won 4 consecutive elections, and held on to power for 8 years. We all know what happened next. These positions are said to be honorary positions. A salary is not paid to them. However, we saw the benefits enjoyed by these individuals holding honorary positions during the Sri Lanka tour of Australia in 2019. You have proven that this is no more an honorary position done voluntarily for the love of cricket. It is clear that you are here for personal gain. The cricket loved by this nation has now been driven into the ground. Many played first-class cricket not out of love, but purely to capture power. Today, thousands upon thousands of Sri Lankans whose trust has been betrayed are signing petitions demanding that these administrators step aside. Do not destroy this sport any further. Simply go home.
Northern Province Tourism Bureau held a press briefing in Jaffna today to announce the arrival of the Tour de Kote Ramayana Trail. Following a historic cycling leg through India, the team is preparing to flag off their return journey to the capital from the Jaffna city centre tomorrow morning.
After 148 days retracing the Ramayana Trail across India to Ayodhya, the cross-border cycling team has returned to Sri Lanka via the KKS ferry. Supported by the Ministry of Justice, the expedition aims to bridge cultures through sustainable tourism. Starting tomorrow, from Jaffna, the cyclists begin a 78-day trek through Anuradhapura and the southern coast, concluding in Kotte on the 6th of June. At today's briefing, officials highlighted the tour's role in national reconciliation.
We had a 30 years war, but anyhow, we came back very strongly and with this kind of gentleman and the tourism bureau and really the tourism stakeholders and this kind of sporty people. Look, these are our future for Sri Lanka. For Sri Lanka tourism, we should encourage this kind of activities. We should encourage the Indian people must come here and they should go again from here and they must talk about the Sri Lankan tourism development, what we are doing now.
Newsfirst won big at the Raigam Tele Awards 2025 held in Colombo this evening.
The stars of Sri Lankan television were celebrated at the Raigam Tele's 2025 awards ceremony held this evening at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. The event brought together artists, journalists and industry veterans to recognize outstanding contributions across television, entertainment and news. In the television categories, Kanchan Amararatna was awarded Best Television Voiceover of the Year for his work on Hotel Transylvania aired on Sirasa TV. Geet Madhushankar took home the Best Television Talk Show of the Year award for Sirasa Lunchtime TV. News anchors were also recognized for their excellence. Imesh Sutherland won News Anchor of the Year Sinhala, while Dhanushan Yanasekaran received Best Television News Anchor of the Year Tamil. In the English news category, Hashini Padirana was honored as the Best News Anchor of the Year. All three anchors represent Newsfirst. Creative Programming Awards highlighted innovation in television. Leland Ratnaika and Viraj Jayamana were awarded Most Creative Television Program of the Year for The Voice Sri Lanka. The Best Reality Program of the Year went to Lalit Jaitilaka and Ayesha Rajaratnam for Sirasa Dancing Star. The ceremony celebrated the talent, creativity and dedication of individuals who have made significant contributions to Sri Lankan television, marking another milestone in the industry's continued growth.
Colombo hosted the International Trademark Association pre-annual reception yesterday, gathering IP experts, brand owners and policymakers.
The pre-annual meeting reception of the International Trademark Association or INTA was held in Colombo yesterday. The event brought together intellectual property professionals, brand owners and policymakers from across Sri Lanka and the region.
From cricket to football to tennis to ice skating, in every sporting field, inventors and creators are working behind the scene to push the boundaries of athletic performance, improve audience experience and bring sports events to everyone's home. Intellectual property rights, the legal protection they give, are the basis for key business transactions that secure the economic value of sports and push the industry forward. Thanks to steady industry growth, sporting organizations can finance high-profile sports events, promote sports development worldwide.
A panel on IP in sport, coinciding with World IP Day, highlighted the role of intellectual property in sports innovation and economic growth.
AI is also a part of it, which is very interesting and important, and AI is much involved in maybe ticketing and changing of advertisements in grounds in different jurisdictions. AI have been very helpful. Then plant varieties, where the turfs are concerned. There is a lot of research and development taken on the turf, the moisture, the thickness of the turf, and there are also the mixture of natural plants with artificial plants which are mixed. The turfs are made for more efficiency.
The reception concluded with networking opportunities ahead of the 2026 INTA annual meeting in London, which will gather over 10,000 participants from more than 140 jurisdictions.
Royal College Colombo clinched a victory at the 49th Mustangs Trophy, played against St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia by 16 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method in the annual one-day encounter between the two schools played at the SSC Stadium in Colombo. Batting first, St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia posted 313 runs on the scoreboard for the loss of 4 wickets. Jaden Amaravira played a brilliant innings and was undefeated on 184 runs. Royal College Colombo, who were playing their reply innings, had scored 291 for 6 when the match was called off due to poor light conditions. Vimat Dinsaro of Royal College scored 109 and was not out. And that's Wrap Review News for tonight. Thank you for watching and good night.